Hello people, what's up? Welcome back. I hope you guys have watched the RTP series that has been uploaded. I try to cover as many questions as possible. So in this video we are going to start. Let's not waste any more time. Let us start with the MTPs. I'll try to cover as many MTPs as possible. I've at least have a target of somewhere around like 5 7. We'll see what is the maximum I can do. I'll not say some number, but yes, I'll try to do whatever is the maximum possible. I still suggest sit back, relax and watch, because you are getting a perception on different way of questions that is being asked in the limited amount of time. So I believe that's the best thing that you guys can do. Sit back, relax and watch. And this lengthy MCQs, I know most of you have said that. What we'll do, let us not consider this MCQ part. Let us directly get into the theory part. I know that is where you guys are all finding it difficult. I know the MCQs you guys are getting the answer, so it's not a difficult thing. But yes, descriptive questions is where you guys would need a lot of help and efforts. So we understand. So let us take up the descriptive questions directly in whatever the MTPs we are going to do, so that it will be beneficial for you. It will save a lot of time for me as well. Okay, but yes, let's start. The September okay, the September MTP. Let us start. Referring the relevant provisions of the Companies Act, examine whether the following companies will be considered as listed company or unlisted company. What is the definition of listed company, people? The companies, these companies will, who are excluded from the definition of listed company? The companies, the public company who has invested, meaning who has listed their non-convertible debentures. The companies who have listed their non-convertible debentures. One second, why is the pen acting differently? So people, who are the ones who are considered as a listed company, people, or who are not considered as listed company? The public company who have listed their non-convertible debentures on a private placement basis, non-convertible debentures on a private placement basis, non-convertible preference shares issued on a private placement basis. If it's a private company, if you have issued non-convertible debentures on a private placement basis, and if you are a company who have listed your equity but in the jurisdiction outside India, then these companies are not considered as our listed companies, correct? So ABC Limited, a public company, has listed its non-convertible debt issued on private placement. It's not a listed company. XYZ Limited, a public company, has listed its non-convertible redeemable preference shares issued on non-convertible redeemable private placement. Is not a listed company. RAM Limited, a public company which has not listed its equity shares on recognized stock exchange, but whose equity shares are listed on the stock exchange jurisdiction outside India, 23(3), not a listed company. So all three are not listed company. Next one, Zeta Polymers has earned profits for the first 2 quarters of the financial year. First 2 quarters they have earned profits, it seems, from 1st April to 31st March 2025. The company has calculated, declared and paid interim dividend based on the profits earned in the first 2 quarters. So you can make the interim dividend out of the profits of the current year, out of the surplus of the P&L until the quarter. That is, if you are giving it in Q3, whatever is the profits earned until the previous quarter, using those profits also you can declare dividend. Okay. The company incurred losses in the next 2 quarters. The company has incurred overall losses for the financial year ending 31st August 2025. Leaving no surplus in P&L account. The company has not carried over losses and unabsorbed depreciation. Applying the provision of Companies Act 2013, decide whether the company contravened the provisions of Companies Act by declaring interim dividends. So people, what has happened here? The company has declared interim dividend. So let us imagine Q1, Q2, they were profitable. So immediately they declared dividend. After declaring, people, Q3, Q4, it has been a loss. So end of the day, the overall year, they are not profitable. So they're asking you, have they done any non-compliance? Answer is no, people. You are free to declare profits. You are free to declare interim dividend out of the preceding quarters. If it is profitable, you are free to declare dividend. So in this current year, when I declared dividend, there was nothing that was non-compliance at all. So am I free to declare dividend? Yes, you are free to declare dividend. Have they done any non-compliance? Answer is no. Simple now. That's the answer. Lalji is a Singapore-based company having several businesses units all over the world. It has a unit for manufacturing computer chip with its headquarters in Pune. Having several businesses units all over the world. It has a unit for manufacturing computer chips within its headquarters in Pune. It has a branch in Dubai which is controlled by the headquarters in Pune. What would be the residential status under foreign exchange of printer chips in Pune and Dubai branch? Chips in Pune, people. It has a unit. Any unit which is directly incorporated in India, even if it is controlled by a person outside in India. A person definition includes branch, office, agency, anything. So any unit which is situated in India, even if it's controlled by a person resident outside India, it will be considered as PRI. So chips in Pune is PRI only. It has a branch in Dubai which is controlled by headquarters in Pune. Anything which is situated outside India, but if it is controlled by a person resident in India, even this can be considered as what people? PRI. So even Dubai is also considered as PRI only. Blue Limited passed two resolutions by means of postal ballot. Keeping in view the relevant provisions of Companies Act, you are required to advise the directions of the company regarding provisions applicable for making entries in the minutes book, including the time limit within which the entries must be made. Postal ballot, people, regarding the applicable provisions for making minutes in the, so you have to prepare minutes within 30 days of passing the resolution. So whenever you are passing the postal ballot resolution, within 30 days you have to enter it in the minutes book, which is signed by the chairman, and in the minutes book, because postal ballot, you have to clearly specify it is scrutinized as report. So the number of votes casted, whether the resolution is passed or not. So all these data has to be captured in your minutes book, section 118, if you remember. Arna Limited was dealing in export of cotton fabric to specified foreign countries. The company was willing to purchase cotton fields in Punjab state. The prospectus issued by the company contained some important extracts of the expert report. The report was found untrue. Mr. Nick purchased the shares of Arna Limited on the basis of expert's report published in the prospectus. However, he did not suffer any loss due to purchase of such shares. Would Mr. Nick have any remedy against the company? State the circumstances when an expert is not liable under Companies Act 2013. Direct question only, no people. What is that they're telling you? If at all, civil liability, misstatement of prospectus. If at all I have suffered any loss, people, then I can recover the loss. If I have not suffered any loss because of misstatement in prospectus, civil liability will not come into picture. So in this case, am I liable? Answer is no. Circumstances where expert is not liable. I have withdrawn my consent. I believed truly that whatever is the information I given, it is truth to the best of my knowledge. I believed so. So that circumstances they are asking you about. So Arna Limited, in this case, the shareholder cannot recover anything. What is the meaning of service by post? Prepaid, registered post, properly addressed is called as service by post. Shubhkama Private Limited has registered its articles along with memorandum at time of registration of company in 2010. Now directors of the company are of the view that provisions of articles regarding forfeiture of shares should not be changed except by a resolution of 90% majority. While as per section 14 of Companies Act, articles may be changed by passing a special resolution only. One of the directors said that they cannot make a provision against Companies Act. You are required to advise the company on this matter. Simple people, they are speaking about entrenchment of articles of association. So Companies Act says that special resolution. Can I make it as 90% majority required? Yes, possible. Just that they are telling you it's a private company. To make an entrenchment, people, you need to get an approval of all the members. Then you can entrench your articles. So whatever the forfeiture special resolution is required, you can make it as 90% possible, allowed. Mr. A and Mr. B are joint holders of 5,000 equity shares of XYZ Limited. The company has a total share capital of 40,000 equity shares. A requisition for convening an EGM was submitted to the company and was signed by Mr. A and Mr. B. The board of directors refuses to call the EGM, citing that the requisition is invalid since it does not meet the criteria as prescribed under the law. Examine the validity of the board of directors' refusal with reference to the relevant provisions of Companies Act. This is nothing but people, shareholders requisitioned EGM, that is section 100. When will the EGM be valid, people? Provided if the request is made by at least the shareholders holding 1/10 of the total voting power. That is total share capital. So in this case, people, what is the 40,000? How much is 1/10 of 40,000? That is 4,000. But how much has been made? 5,000 has been made. So you try to do what is the number that has been made? 5,000 divided by 40,000. How much is the number? How much will it come to? How much will it come to? Into 100. I think it will come to somewhere around 10. More than 10 or 12, 12.5 something it is coming. Yeah. So, is the request valid? Yes, the request is valid. Should the company conduct the EGM? Yes, sir. Within how many days, sir? The company should make necessary arrangements, sir. Within 21 days, they have to make necessary arrangements. They have to conduct the meeting also. Within 3 months, everything should be completed, if you remember. Yes. Okay. Define the grammatical interpretation. What are the exceptions? Okay. Measures AT and Co. is a proprietary firm and Measures VK Associates, a partnership firm, had been appointed as a joint statutory auditors of PQR Limited for consecutive years. Probably for 5 consecutive years. From 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2026, the shareholders had delegated the responsibility to fix the auditor's remuneration to Managing Director. Mr. D, on 29th March 2023, there was a change in the constitution of Measures AT and Co. from proprietorship to a partnership. In light of the above facts and referring to the Provisions of Companies Act, answer the following. Does a company have the authority to delegate the power to the Managing Director to fix the remuneration of the statutory auditors? Does a company have the authority to delegate the power to the Managing Director to fix the remuneration of statutory auditors? In the Act, what is given as people, always remember the statutory auditor's appointment and remuneration is always done by the shareholders. But shareholders in a general meeting may appoint it in such manner as may be required. They may fix the remuneration. So it's a very thinly written law. So if you look at it, there is no prohibition. So MD, can they delegate it? Yes, possible. After passing a resolution in the general meeting, the shareholders can say, we will not do this, let the Managing Director do it. After doing that, can you do it? Yes, possible. Whether the annual ratification necessary since the auditor is appointed for a consecutive term of 5 years. People, this was long back provision there, people. Somewhere in 2018 it was removed. So whenever we appoint an auditor for 5 years, no, even after appointing an auditor for 5 years, every year we used to say, he's doing a good job, let us continue. He's doing a good job, let us continue. That is called as ratification. Every year we used to ratify. It used to be there. That provision has been removed now. So there is nothing like that exists. Yeah, even I'm surprised by the question that they are asked that. Whether a revised ADT1 form is required to be filed with the details of the new firm, Measures AT and Co. after the change in constitution. See, this is linked to your, what is that, foundation. Nothing, it is not given in your inter at all. What is that? Whenever there is a change in constitution, yes, you need to intimate. It is considered as a new person. So, should you again file form ADT1? Yes, answer is required. Because earlier you were a proprietor, now you are a partnership firm. Is it required? Yes, change in constitution. You have to intimate the details to ROC. It's a different person in the eyes of law. A dispute among the partners of LLP jeopardized the stability of the business. Out of 2 partners, one due to a quarrel left the LLP. The other partner alone continued the business of the LLP. You are being an expert in law is requested to explain the provision. What is this, people? Whoever are the continuing partners, cognizance of the factor, you have to make sure, people, you have to increase the minimum number of partners required to minimum number, that is 2 within 6 months. Failure to do which any contracts entered during such period the partners will be unlimitedly liable. Hayden's case, they're not taking the indirect ones. Mr. Rock and Aman are partners in chartered accountants firm. Their firm has been appointed as statutory auditors of a company. The accounts manager of the company obtained signatures from the directors, CFO and CEO on the board, reports, financial statements and other documents and submitted them to the statutory auditor of audit. Okay. The audit was conducted by a team led by Mr. Rock, while Mr. Aman signed the auditor's report on behalf of the firm referring to the provision of company's answer. Has the board complied with the relevant provisions? Can Mr. Aman sign the audit report in this case? The firm has been appointed as statutory company. The accounts manager of the company obtained the signatures from the directors, CFO and CEO of the board report and documents. Okay, the one thing people, the board has complied with relevant provisions. Always remember people, before you sign the documents, the financial statements first has to be approved by the board of directors in the board meeting. I think that provision is missing here. So the first financial statements has to be first approved before they are signed. I think that is a non-compliance here. Can Mr. Aman sign this particular thing? Yes, people. As long as you are a partner, Aman are partners in a CA firm, and have they given about Aman? So Aman can sign, people, provided he is also a chartered accountant who is allowed to be in practice. Only that particular person can come and sign. Yes, possible. Yes, possible. Provided he is a chartered accountant. Following are the extracts of information letters required. Play World Limited paid up capital 20, share premium 10, free reserve 30, turnover 510. So deposits are, the company wants to accept deposits of 50 crore from the public and has obtained a credit rating. The tenure of deposits is 36 months. First of all, people, public, can they obtain? First of all, check whether are they eligible company. Net worth is not given. Turnover of 500 crore. Are you eligible company? You have 500 crore turnover. Are you eligible? Yes, of course you are an eligible company. You are having more than what is required only. In the light of above data and referring to the provisions in Companies Act, answer the each of the following. Can Play World Limited be permitted to accept deposits from public other than its members after passing an auditor resolution? Is it sufficient? Paid up share capital plus free reserves plus securities premium. How much, people? 30/60. Correct? Yes. How much they want to borrow? 50 crore. People, we have seen it in the class also. There is section 180, subsection 1, clause C, which says what is the maximum amount a company can borrow. If it is going beyond the limits given in section 181C, then you have to pass a mandatory special resolution. And this limit should be along with my existing debt plus future debt. So we do not know what is the existing debt here. So assuming that the limits are within, if the limits are within, yes, ordinary resolution is sufficient. If limits are not within, then you have to pass a special resolution. Correct? Okay. And what is the next question? The Play World Limited needs 5 crore of funds for its short-term requirements and to promise repay the deposits within 5 months. Can the company raise? Short-term requirements, people, less than 6 months possible, but not less than 3 months. 5 months are possible, no problem. How much they want? They want to borrow 5 crore itself. What is the maximum you can borrow for short term? 10% of paid up share capital, free reserves and securities premium. So in my case, 10% of 60 crore is equal to how much? 6 crore. How much they want to buy? 5 crore. So is it possible? Yes, possible. No issues. The Companies Act 2013 provides that the amount of dividend remained unpaid or unclaimed on expiry of 30 days from the date of declaration of dividend shall be transferred to unpaid dividend account within 7 days from the date of expiry of such period of 30 days. If the expiry date of such 30 days is 30th October 2024, decide the last date on or before which the unpaid or unclaimed dividend amount shall be required to be transferred. People, always remember, within 5 days of declaration of dividend, you need to transfer your funds into a separate bank account. And within 30 days from the date of declaration, you have to make the payment of dividends. And if the dividends are not paid to anyone, within 7 days from the date of 30 days, expiry of 30 days, you have to transfer the money into a different account called as unpaid dividend account, UDA, within 7 days. When did the company expire the 30th day. 30th day is people 30th October 2024. If you apply General Clauses Act here, they're telling you calculate it as per General Clause Act. Whenever they have used the word from, do not count that day. You have to count it from the next day. So you have to count 31st. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth will be by 7th day. 6th of November will be counted. It is inclusive. So 6th of November 2024 will be my 7th day. Within that, people need to transfer the money into unpaid dividend account. Tulip Gardens Limited maintains its register of members at its registered office in Mumbai. A group of members residing in Kolkata wants to keep the register of members at Kolkata. Possible? Is it possible? Where do we keep the place of keeping the register officer? Section 94 people says what? Where do I maintain the register of members? I can maintain it people at the registered office of the company. If I want to maintain it in any other place, I have to pass a special resolution. And more than 1/10 of the shareholders have to reside in such particular place. So in Kolkata, if people are residing more than 1/10, then I can keep it. If not, not possible. Special resolution is mandatory. Whether Mr. Rich, a director holding only 400 shares of worth 4,000, has the right to inspect the register of members? Yes, section 94. Even if you hold one share, you have a right to inspect the register of members. Absolutely no issues. Raisin Limited is an unlisted public company as per its audited financial statements for financial year 23-24. The company had a paid up share capital of 40 crore, a turnover of 210 crore, and outstanding loan of 90 crore from public financial institutions. The company also accepted public deposits amounting to 28 crore during the same financial year. Based on the above facts, examine whether Raisin Limited is required to appoint an internal auditor as per the Companies Act. It's a public company, so all four conditions is applicable. DPLT, deposits, paid up share capital, loan, turnover. So in my case, people, DPLT 25, 50, 100, 200. So see if any of it is satisfied. Company had a paid up capital of 40. For me, it is to be 50. So no, turnover of 210. Turnover is satisfied. No, any one condition satisfied. Yes, people applicable. Deposits of people 28. First 25 only deposits. So in any condition it is applicable. Yes, people, they need to appoint an internal auditor. As per the provisions of foreign exchange, FEMA, a person resident in India is allowed to hold, own, transfer, or invest in foreign currency, foreign security, and immovable property. Clarification. So can we invest in foreign currency? Yes, people. If at all you have earned anything while you were PROI, you can continue to hold. Whatever you have earned outside India, using that you can earn more property, you can own, you can buy more shares, you can buy more properties. Yes, allowed. Can you earn income out of the money you have created outside? Yes, allowed. You can get inheritance of properties which was belonging to a PROI. That is also allowed. All these transactions are allowed. That is what is given by RBI in the clarification. Then this is our September 2025 MTP. Now people, moving on to what is this? August 2025. Yeah. Which one is this? August 2025. Okay. Same thing. Let us directly go to the theory part. I hope you guys are able to understand. Yeah. Okay. Golden Fern Industries Limited, a public company, is considering conversion into a private limited company. As of the current record, the company has 205 members. That is, directors and their relatives 40, current employees 20, ex-employees 15, joint holders 12, others 118. In light of provisions of Companies Act, whether company needs to reduce its number of members before proceeding with the conversion or not. First, people, if the same company gets converted, the question is whether are they breaching the limits of private company definition. We know for a fact, people, past employees, present employees, and joint holders, there is an exception. What is that? Do not count current employees. Do not count past employees. Joint shareholders, people, will always be treated as one. So they are telling you 6. 6, we will not count them as 12. We will count 6 couples holding shares jointly. 6 couples. It is 6 couples, no. So I will not count them as 12. We will have to count them as 6 only. Correct? No. So sir, others 118. People, here the trickiest part was, people, this director and their relatives. Whether the director is considered as an employee of the company or not, it's a debate, people. Nowhere it is given whether I feel, if you look at sweat equity, in that they say employee includes a director. Now this is an interpretation given by ICAI. If you ask me, is it right? I don't think so. But is it given somewhere? I don't know. If because sweat equity and all, there they clearly say that it includes a director. You can give it. There in definition of employee, that sweat equity is he's coming. But for private company, it does not specifically say any definition of an employee as such. Correct? But yes. But how do you write this in the exam? Because they have also used the word relatives. Directors' relatives are definitely not my employees. So indirectly they tried to help you there because it is given as one combined limit. So I will definitely add that. So what is my total? 40 plus 118. How much? 158 plus 6. So this is my number. So definitely it is coming for less than 200. So people, I can absolutely go. I need not have to reduce any members. Robust Limited, a manufacturing company, is in the process of appointing a statutory auditor for the financial year 24-25. The company has approached Arvind Pharma and Co., a reputed chartered accountancy firm, for this purpose. Mr. Arvind and Mr. Pramod are the partners of the firm. During the due diligence process, the following facts have come to the light. Ms. Sanvi, who is Mr. Arvind's wife, has made an investment in equity shares up to 1 lakh. Absolutely possible. Auditor cannot even invest one share, but the auditor's relative can hold up to 1 lakh worth of security allowed. Face value. Ms. Lata, who is the wife of Mr. Pramod, has provided a personal guarantee of 1,50,000. This is not allowed, people. Guarantee not above 1 lakh rupees. In excess of 1 lakh is disqualified. That's the answer. Mr. Arman has been diagnosed with a rare cardiac condition and plans to travel to USA for a specialized heart surgery. He seeks guidance regarding the necessary formalities and the maximum amount of foreign exchange he is permitted to draw for this medical treatment. People, it is a current account transaction, people. It will come under your LRS limits. That is maximum 2.5 lakh dollar can be availed within a year. But remember, if it is a medical treatment, if you are able to get if you are able to get a quotation from that particular hospital or a doctor prior in hand, and if the amount requires is more than $2.5, that is possible. The authorized person only can give without having to give you an RBI approval, not required. Sunrise Agro Limited held its AGM on 10th August 2025. The meeting was chaired by Ms. Priya Sharma, who serves as chairperson of the company's board of directors. On 12th August 2025, Sharma, without signing the minutes of the meeting, left India for Toronto to take care of her ailing mother. Referring to the relevant provisions of Companies Act, examine the manner in which the minutes of the above meeting are to be signed. People, the minutes of AGM, people, who should sign the minutes of the AGM? Always, people, minutes of the AGM should be signed by who? Minutes of the AGM should be signed by the chairman of the meeting. No, it shall be signed by the chairman of the meeting, but chairman of the meeting is not available. So if it's the minutes of the general meeting, people, it can be signed by any other person authorized by the board when the current chairman is not available. So the directors among themselves will authorize one amongst them. Then such director can come and sign this particular minutes of the meeting. If it's a board meeting, then it will be the chairman of the next meeting. Next one. Crystal Harvest Limited has an authorized share capital of 1,50,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each and a balance of 1.75 crore in its security premium as of 31st March 2025. The board of directors is considering the use of this balance for general business purpose. Discuss whether can they do it. People, section 52, you can use securities premium only for the 5 purpose. What is that? Bonus, buyback, preliminary issue, discount, and what is that? Premium on discount, and you can issue for bonus, buyback, commission related expenses, preliminary expenses, and your what is that? Discount on your commission, preliminary expenses, discount on your share of preference shares or debentures. That is the only 5 places where I can use my securities premium for. If I use it for any other purpose, it will be considered as capital reduction. So any other purpose other than these five not possible. What is immovable property? We have seen 100 times. Anything which is attached to the land, forming part of, permanently affixed to the land, uh, in right derived out of the land, all these are considered as what? Immovable property. Give the meaning of the following as per Companies Act. Shelf prospectus or red herring prospectus. Shelf prospectus is what? Something, a prospectus which is valid for 1 year, you can make subsequently any number of offers up to 1 year. You will file information memorandum and all. What is red herring prospectus? A prospectus in which not the complete details are available, like quantum of shares that is issued, the price of the shares that is issued will not be available. It's called as what, people? Red herring prospectus. Answer the following citing the relevant provisions of Companies Act. Mantra Books and Media Limited, with a paid up share capital of 10 crore, has obtained a term loan of 10 lakh from ABC Industrial Bank for purchasing high quality papers. A director of the company contends that the loan should be treated as deposit. No, people. Any money received from a banking company cannot be treated as deposit. No, it is not a deposit. It is a bank. No. RO Systems, facing acute cash crunch, wants to utilize a portion of deposit repayment reserve to pay off its short-term creditors. Absolutely no, not possible. These statutory reserves cannot be used for any purpose other than the actual repayments. Preamble does not override the plain. Okay. Harmony Biotech Limited, a manufacturing company, has proposed a dividend of 7.5% of the financial year 24-25 to be paid out of the profits earned during the same year. The company has earned a profits of 735 crore for the period and does not intend to transfer any amount to its general reserve. Examine as the provision of Companies Act whether Harmony Biotech Limited can proceed with the proposed dividend without making any transfer. Absolutely, people, there is no limit. If you want, you can utilize the entire 735 crore to declare it as a dividend. Provided if there are any statutory reserves like creation of DRR, all that has to be taken care, or else you can use. There is no statutory requirement to transfer a particular percentage for free reserves. Silver Core Alloys LLP was incorporated on 3rd Feb 2025. On 1st July 2025, a partner from an existing partnership firm named Measures Silver Core Metals, registered under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Since 5th March 2002, submitted a request to the ROC. The request stated that the name of the newly incorporated LLP closely resembles, oh wow, nice question, the name of the partnership firm, and requested that Silver Core Alloys LLP be directed to change its name. Analyze whether LLP is legally bound to change its name. People, a registered partnership firm is coming and telling people a LLP has to change its name. Is this request valid? Answer is no, people. Only a registered trademark. If the partnership is a registered trademark also, then you can come. If not, only a registered trademark, only a company, only a LLP. Only these people are allowed. Anyone else cannot come and say that your name is similar to me. Trademark, LLP, company, partnership is there or no. So whatever is the contention, it is invalid. Dictionary, okay. Brame Limited, a public company, held its AGM on 31st August 2024. During this AGM, the financial statements for the financial year 23-24 were presented to shareholders for adoption. However, due to certain queries raised by the shareholders regarding specific accounting treatments and disclosures, the financial statements could not be adopted. Whenever it is not adopted, people, you need to file provisional statements. Once the financial statements are adopted, you need to again file it. The ROC would have taken the provisional statements as temporary. Once you file this will be considered as permanent. Correct? That only they have said. Mr. Raghav entered into an agreement to purchase a commercial property located in Bengaluru from Zenith Infratech Limited. However, during the registration process, he discovered that the title deeds was encumbered. The company refused to transfer the title, claiming that Mr. Raghav should have been aware of the existing charge on the property. Evaluate whether whatever the Zenith Infratech Limited's claim is legally valid. Answer is yes, people. If you guys remember section 80 of Companies Act, nothing but, people, like doctrine of constructive notice. Once the charge is registered, CHG1 is filed, it is a public document. You cannot say that you were not aware of it. Any company entering into a contract, any person entering into a contract with the company is always assumed to have the knowledge of the fact of such things. So Section 80 protects. So no, whatever this Zenith's contention is legally valid. So he cannot say that I'll step back. The financial executive and accountant of a company had disagreement in the interpretation of financial year and calendar year. April to March, January to December. The registered office of the Emerald Engineering Limited is situated in a classified backward area of Jharkhand. The board wants to keep its books of account at its corporate office in Ranchi, which is conveniently located. The board seeks your advice about the feasibility of maintaining the accounting records. Possible? Yes, possible. You can keep it anywhere in India. Absolutely fine. You have to intimate ROC, inform AOC 5 within 7 days. Possible? Yes, possible. Trident Energy Systems Limited is a company in which Solaris Electric Limited Solaris holds 57% of paid up share capital of the company, making Trident Energy a subsidiary of Solaris. One of the shareholder of Solaris uh, creates a charitable trust. He creates a trust and donates 7% of his shares in Solaris. He creates charitable trust and donates 7% to this trust, along with 92 crore to the trust. He has also given 92 crore rupees to the trust. He appoints Trident Systems as the trustee of the charitable trust. All the assets of the trust, including the shares, are held in the name of the Trident. Is it possible? People, Section 19. Generally, the holding company, subsidiary company cannot hold shares, but exceptions, people. If you are holding as a trustee, legal representative of a deceased person, and if you are already a shareholder, so is this possible? Yes, a trustee, it is allowed. Arjun Verma, a resident individual in India, intends to obtain foreign exchange 2 lakh for pursuing higher education abroad, based on the estimated expenses provided by foreign institution. Possible LRS limit only will cover up to 2.5 lakh dollar. Mr. Narayan Sharma, a resident individual in India, intends to obtain foreign exchange for a gift. Absolutely allowed. Up to 25 lakh to 2 lakh $50,000. Absolutely allowed. No problem. That's all. Taka taka. Let us see of the next one. I hope you guys are able to understand it. Hey, acha, hello. Varada Limited, a textile company, has issued 5 lakh preference shares of 100 each in 2015, which are now due for redemption in 2025. The company has retained earnings of 3 crore and free reserves of 2 crore. Okay, being an expert, you are asked to recommend possible options that the management can avail as regards the redemption of shares according to the provision. Redemption of shares can be done out of people, profits available for dividends. Next one is proceeds of fresh issue. So retained earnings of free reserves, both are available, profits available for dividend only. So I can use this entire 5 crore. Or if you do not want that way, you can use the proceeds of fresh issue. Whenever you are using the free reserves, you have to make sure you are transferring equivalent amount to capital redemption reserve. That's all. Green Limited, a power generating company, attracted numerous investors due to its strong growth potential. Mr. Arju, one of the investors, purchased a significant number of shares in Green Limited, expecting regular returns in the form of dividends. Over the years, Green Limited performed well and consistently declared dividends. However, in 23-24, despite reporting profits, the board of directors decided not to distribute dividends. Seeing this, Arju argued that as a shareholder, he had an absolute right to receive dividends. Profit or dividend. Looking at the given scenario, assess the argument of Mr. Arju in the light and support of relevant legislation. Absolutely no. The final dividend is always recommended by the board and approved by the shareholders. Remember, you can make a request. I'm not saying no, but the company is nowhere bound to give you dividends every year. Absolutely not possible. So in this case, definitely not possible. His contention is invalid. Yes, sir. But if at all it's a preference share, cumulative preference share, that's a different story. Analyze the following situations and comment upon. Analyze the following situations and comment upon. Can I stand once again? We'll try. No, possible or not possible? Possible, no? Able to see, Noda? Okay. Doesn't make difference, no? I am of the same height, huh? Okay. Analyze the following situation and comment upon the legal validity of the transaction in the light of FEMA 1999. John, a foreign national, not of Indian origin, wants to buy agricultural land in India. Not possible, people. Capital account transaction. Prohibited capital account transactions. NRI wants to open a fixed deposit account in Indian bank using foreign currency. Yes, possible. NRE account, there are so many accounts, no? Resident foreign currency account, FCNR account, all that. A company intends to hold its AGM on a shorter notice due to urgent business. Possible a shorter notice, how the AGM? 95 percentage of the members have to accept, no? AGM. Section 101, shorter notice. However, some shareholders argue that their larger shareholding should grant them greater influence in approving the shorter notice. Absolute crap. 95 percentage of the members, it is not in value. Based on the provision of companies that clarify whether their argument is valid and substantiate why the number of shareholders matters more than the number of shares they hold in such cases. Of course, because AGM is a scenario where everyone gets an opportunity to come and participate. If I say the person holding maximum value, if you agree, then everyone has to come. Then where does the shareholders participation happen? Where is the shareholders democracy? No, no. One X Limited, a technology-based company, has a paid-up equity share capital of 40 crore. The company previously issued sweat equity shares worth 8 crore. They have already done. Okay. And now plans to issue an additional 7 crore. 8 plus 7. On the face of it only we can see. What is the maximum a company can issue sweat equity at any given point of time? 40 crore into 25 percentage. How much is 25 percentage? 10 crore. They have already given 8. Now they want to give 7. Possible? Definitely not possible. Maximum possible is 2. But in a year, how much they can do? 40. What is the maximum they can do? 15 crore or 15 percentage or issue value of 5 crore, whichever is higher. 15 percentage of my paid up equity share capital is how much? 4, 5, that is 7. Out of 40 crore, how much is 15 percentage? 4 plus 5, 6 crore. 6 crore or 5 crore, whichever is higher, 6 crore. So even if you take yearly people, 6 is the maximum. But if I take 6, this limit will go beyond 10. Not possible. And see if they have given anything on startup. If they have not given anything on startup, because they have given technology based company, but nothing they have mentioned on startup. If it is a startup, then 50% is possible. So either apply for startup status or increase your capital. So is it possible? Maximum they can do is 2 crore. CCTV recording of an incident can be considered as a document. Explain what do you understand by the word document. There's nothing but substance record means. So according to that, anything in a permanent form, in a recorded way, where imagine in a tape, in a pen drive, in somewhere, if at all you are able to store it, then can I call it as a document? Yes, possible, because it is a permanent form, whether written or not. It can be graphical, it can be image. We have seen in the class. To prevent excessive concentration of control among a group of shareholders, describe with help of an example how the Companies Act 2013 imposes limits and regulates the voting power of shares with differential rights, equity shares. Imposes limits and regulates DVR. What is the DVR limits there? Maximum you can have is 74 percentage, no? That's the thing. So how do they do it? First thing, it has to be authorized by articles of association. Ordinary resolution is required. The maximum is 74 percentage. So it cannot go beyond this. So at any given point of time, the differential voting you can have is 74. Non-differential should always be 26 percentage. Mr. Dan, an Indian citizen, decides to start a software development company, opts for a OPC. He appoints his friend Mr. Rohit as the nominee at the time of incorporation, following all the legal requirements. Okay. He appoints his friend Mr. Rohit as a nominee at the time of incorporation, following all legal requirements. After 2 years, Mr. Rohit wants to withdraw his nomination. Possible, yes, please, possible. That's not a problem at all. You have to just give an intimation to the person, that is the shareholder, as well as the OPC. So I will intimate Dan and I'll also intimate the company, OPC, that I want to resign. Possible. Whenever a person resigns within 15 days, you have to appoint a new nominee. How does a change of nominee impact MOA? Nothing. It will not impact as such. This is because we used to have nominee clause. Now that has been relaxed. That is why they have taken this. That's what I was thinking. Can Dan own another OPC while still being a member? No. The maximum number of OPCs you can be a member of is only one at a time. And remember, we need to file Form INC 4 for intimating the nominee, next nominee. With ROC, it has to be filed. No vehicles are allowed in the park. Comment on the statement explaining the concept of construction in legal interpretation. Ababa. We have it in our book only, no. What is this? No vehicles are allowed in the park. So, construction means people. If I read it as it is, like interpretation, if I interpret it, what do you mean by that? No vehicles are allowed, meaning no vehicles, you should not take anything. But if I interpret it legally, what if the vehicle does not emit smoke? EV vehicle, can I take it? Can I take a cycle? So is that allowed? Imagine a person with a person wheelchair. Is that allowed? So what is considered as so what is considered as a vehicle? So this you have to interpret it liberally. You should not interpret it like actual way. If that is the case, I cannot include any of these things. That's what they are saying. Okay. Moringa Limited initially issued preference shares with a fixed 10% dividend. Later, the company decided to reduce the dividend rate to 8%. Possible Section 48. Either take 75% of the issued share capital, their approval, or pass special resolution of the preference shareholders. Then can you? Yes. Provided the right of such alteration should be given in MOA, AOA. What if it is not given, the right of alteration? The issue of preference shares in whichever document you have issued, in that document there should not be any restriction that I will never alter. You shouldn't have said. Whoever are the dissenting shareholders, that is 10%, they can any day go and file a dispute in NCLT. Whatever NCLT orders will be the final. If alteration of one class of shareholders affects another class of the shareholders, you need to take the special resolutions of them as well. I've just explained the complete provision. Analyzing the role and responsibilities, role and liabilities of designated partner in LLP. Under LLP Act, answer the following. In LLP, where all the partners are corporate entities, can a body corporate be appointed as? Does it no? It should always be a individual. So if only the body corporates are partners, what will you do in such case? You will have to nominate one amongst your director. Imagine if it's a company, nominate one of your person as a nominee. Such person will become a designated partner. If an LLP agreement does not specify the designated partner, whether LLP can validly be formed, yes, whoever has signed the incorporation document as a designated partner, they will be the designated partners. A designated partner of an LLP in India is planning to relocate. Designated partner of LLP in India is planning to permanently relocate to another country. Permanently relocate. Okay, only one condition, people. There should be at least two designated partners at any given point of time. One of them at least should be resident India during the financial year. If one person is satisfying, if other person goes, we don't have a problem. XYZ LLP was penalized for non-compliance, but one of the designated partner claims he was unaware of the regulatory requirements. Can he avoid liability? Absolutely no. I would have told this 100 times inside the class that ignorance of law is not an excuse. You cannot say I did not know. I go and park my vehicle. I see a police. I cannot say, "Yes, sir, I did not know it was a no parking." Ignorance of law is never an excuse. I did not know can never be taken as a valid acceptance. Miss Mona, employed in X1 Corporation, adopted a 3-month-old baby, applied for maternity leave under company's policy, which provided 26 weeks of paid maternity leave. However, her employer rejected the request, stating that maternity leave applies only to a biological mother as per the law. Mona approached the court against the company decision. In related to above case, explain how the rule of beneficial construction applies. See here. Yeah, in reality, people, biological mother as well as adopted mother will enjoy. But I don't know which law they are talking about. In reality, that is not the case. Even an adopted mother also will enjoy. Yeah, that is how the law is made. Because it is a labor and a welfare legislation. That's how the law is made. And the law is always giving you time so that there is always a bond that happens between the mother and the children, and of course the recovery time for the wounds that would have happened. That's why the paid leave will come into picture. Of course, it's crap only for whoever is you can't write crap and all that. Whatever the interpretation, it is wrong. That even a biological mother, even an adopted mother can also be eligible, and that's why it is called as beneficial construction. That is how you need to interpret it. Energy Mills Limited has issued equity shares with a face value of 10 per share. Mr. Amit and Mr. Burman are both friends. Mr. Amit holds 1000 fully paid up shares, while Mr. Burman holds 1000 partly paid up shares. When the company declares a 10% dividend, a dispute arises and Mr. Burman expects the same dividend amount as paid to Mr. Amit. However, the company insists on paying dividends based on actual amount paid up on the shares mentioned in AOA. Perfect. Section 51, people, it gives a power to the company. If your articles of association allows you, you can pay dividend either on a equal basis, meaning everyone will get the same, or you can pay it on a proportion basis. Proportion means based upon your paid up capital. In this case, if one person has paid up 1000, one person has paid up 500, then 10% will be here 1000. So there is 10,000. That will be 1000. And this person is 1000 partly paid shares of 5. Okay, this is 5000. And here it will be 10% only. And that will be 500. Correct? Huh? Because 1000 into 5 partly paid. So his contention, if it is clearly given in AOA that I am free to do it, I am free to do it. You cannot say that whatever my contention is invalid, I want same dividend as other person. So it all depends upon your articles. If your articles are silent, then yes, you will be earning equal dividend. Your articles will decide everything. So as per section 51, if your article says equal, equal. If not, it will be proportionate. See. Aadhar and Mittal Limited both took loans from different banks and provided security against them. Aadhar Limited mortgaged its factory, building and machinery, while Mittal pledged its stock in trade, raw material and accounts receivable. So one has fixed charge, a floating charge. They are asking you about fixed and floating. Specify the type of charges. Justify your answer in light with relevant provisions of the Companies Act. Also analyze what would happen if both companies fail to repay. If first company people, they will directly take over the asset. Second company people, floating charge first gets crystallized. After that only the other party can come and recover that, take over that particular asset. Mr. P resided in India during financial year 23-24. He left India on 15th July 2024 for Switzerland for pursuing higher studies in biotechnology for 2 years. What would be his residential status under the FEMA? During the financial year 24-25, 25-26, 23-24 he was in India. That is, he is satisfying more than 182 days condition. He is leaving India for studies on 15th July 2024. RBI clarification, if a person is going out for education, you have to treat him as a non-resident, so PROI. But the date he is traveling, on that day you treat him as PRI only. So until 15th July 2024, he is a PRI. On 16th July 24 onwards, he becomes a PROI. He's going for 2 years they have given us. So of course for both the years he'll be a PROI. The Sir P requires every year $25,000 towards tuition fees and $30 for incidental and stay expenses. 25 plus 30 is 55, which is still within LRS limit. Is it possible, people? Yes, it is possible. ABI Limited is holding its AGM to pass a crucial resolution regarding its expansion of its business operation. However, many shareholders are unable to attend the meeting in person due to their prior commitments and engagements. Despite their absence, they still wish to express their views and participate in the decision-making process. Considering the provisions of the Companies Act, how can these shareholders delegate their voting rights? Ensure their participation in the meeting without being physically present. What mechanisms are available under the Act to facilitate their involvement? So, people, it depends. What are the mechanisms available under the Act, people? One you have is proxy, section 105, section 112, 113. If at all your shareholders are president and governor, you guys can appoint authorized representatives. That is possible now. So, whom will you appoint? You will appoint a proxy. That is what is given in this particular thing. ICAI Limited declared a dividend, but some shareholders did not claim it. As per Companies Act, the unclaimed dividend was transferred to unpaid dividend account after 2022. The unclaimed dividend amount was transferred to IEPF. Okay. On the basis of the given facts, answer the following. Define IEPF and write what amounts are credited. Ayyoppa. What amounts are credited? But I hope you guys can manage. Any shares not claimed, dividends not claimed, preference shares not claimed, preference dividend not claimed, debentures not claimed, debenture interest not claimed, deposit not claimed, deposit interest not claimed. Here only you wrote 8 points. What else you will write? SBO, whoever has not declared or disclosed. All these you can write on easy points only. How is the IEPF utilized? They are asking you credit and debit towards investor awareness, class action suits, disgorgement order, any person suffered the loss, that one. What steps should Mr. Victor, the shareholder, take to reclaim his dividend? You need to apply to IEPF for the reclaiming of the shares. But very rare that they have given you this procedure and all, especially this third one. Examine the given situation in the light of EMA. LMN Limited had total foreign exchange earnings of USD 600 million in the last 3 financial years. Total foreign earnings is USD 600 million. What is the maximum amount company can donate with RBI approval? What is the maximum a company can donate? It can be either 1% or 5 million, whichever is lesser, because it is charity. So in this case, what is the maximum amount company can donate without RBI approval? What is the maximum a company can donate? 1% or 5 million, whichever is lesser. In 600 million, what is 1%? 6 million or 5 million, whichever is lesser. They can donate 5 million. STU Limited had foreign exchange earnings USD 250 million over the last 3 financial years. It plans to donate USD 3 million to a university fund. Does it need RBI approval? So again here what will happen, people? In 250 million, what is 1%? What is 1%? 2.5 million. So 2.5 million or 5 million, whichever is lesser. Which is lesser? 2.5 million. How much they want to give? 3. Is it possible? Not possible. 2.5 you can give. So if you want to give, then how is it possible? You have to take RBI approval. Is RBI approval required? Yes, RBI approval required. So here to pay 6 million RBI approval required. Here to pay 3 million RBI approval is required. Less than that RBI approval is not required. Yes, people. Okay. Yes, people. So let us quickly, finish whatever we were doing. I think standing works. 1 second. No, standing doesn't work. Okay. What is there? Yes, people. So immediately let us quick do the next paper.
Okay, March 2024 paper, done. So directly we'll go for this one only. If you guys have any doubt, do let me know. Specific questions and all, I'll look at it if you guys have any doubts. Okay, next one, people. The information extracted, here. The information extracted from the audited financial statements of Resolution Private Limited as on 31st March 2023 is as follows. Paid up equity share capital of 50 lakh divided into 5 lakh equity shares of 10 each. There is no change in the paid up share capital thereafter. The turnover is 2 crore. It is further understood that LO Limited, which is a public limited company, is holding 2 lakh equity shares fully paid up of Resolution Private Limited. Resolution Private Limited has filed its financial statements for the said year with the Registrar of Companies, excluding the cash flow statements. The ROC has issued a notice to the Resolution Private Limited as it has failed to file the cash flow statement along with the balance sheet. Whether Resolution Private Limited shall be deemed to be a small company? That's the first question. Whether Resolution Private Limited has defaulted in filing its financial statements. If you see, people, this pattern questions we have seen so many. Correct? Huh? The information extracted from audited financial statements of Resolution Private Limited is stated below. They have in total, people, 50 lakh paid up share capital. Turnover is 2 crore. There is no change in paid up share capital later on. So it is 50 lakh. So 4 crore, 40 crore are within. It is further understood that LO Limited, which is a public limited company, is holding 2 lakh equity shares fully paid up. Resolution has filed as people out of 5 lakh. LO Limited is holding 2 lakh. So people, that is less than 50%. So that means this and this is not holding in subsidiary. I think all the patterns till now was it was holding in subsidiary. Here, people, it is not a holding in subsidiary company. So is it a small company? Answer is yes, sir. So if it is a small company, cash flow statements, should they file? They are exempted from filing cash flow statements. Whether Resolution Private has default in filing question? Answer is no. They are small company. OPC is smaller, dormant, private company startup. Need not have to file CFS, no? Done. The balances extracted from financial statements of Pacific Limited are as follow. Net worth 100, turnover 500, 1 crore. Net worth 100, turnover 1000, 5 crore. Okay, balance as on 31st March 2023. Balance as on 30th September 2023. Oh, they have given you provisional. Okay. Explaining the provisions of Companies Act, you are requested to examine whether Pacific Limited is required to constitute CSR during the year 23-24. We have to only consider 31st March 2023. This provision is nowhere relevant for us. So I need to check my net worth, turnover, my what is that? Net profit 5 as on 21st March. After that provisional, no, people. For 23-24, I need to check on 31st March 2023. That's all. On that day applicable, yes. If no, no. That's all done. Smart Limited declared dividend. 135, section 135 days. Smart Limited declared dividend at its AGM held on 31st July 2023. Declared dividend at AGM, so final dividend. The dividend warrant to Mr. A shareholder, was posted on 22nd August 2023. Due to postal delay, Mr. A received the warrant on 22nd August 2023. Due to postal delay, M received the warrant on 5th September 2023 and encashed it subsequently. Can Mr. A initiate action against the company for failure to distribute the dividend within 30 days? I would have told this 100 times in the class, people. They will ask you this question. What is this? A company has to pay the dividends within 30 days from the date of declaration. If at all a company is issuing a dividend warrants, if it is issuing dividend warrants, always remember, if the dividend warrants are posted within 30 days, that itself is a compliance. When the dividend warrants are encashed, is none of my, it's not my relevance at all. So in this case, have they posted within 30 days? Answer is yes. So when the encashment happens, people, it's irrelevant. So in this case, it is irrelevant. Mr. Pravesh, an Indian national, desires to obtain forex for 1,40,000 for studies abroad. Possible, no? Current account transaction within $250,000. US $10,000 for remittance towards hiring charges of transponders. Schedule 2, central government approval. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. You have to take prior approval of CG. Samayak Limited is a company engaged in the business of manufacturing papers. Kindly explain the provisions related to quorum in meeting as per provisions. Quorum. Samayak Limited, public company. So up to 1,000 members, 5. Beyond 1,000, up to 5,000 is 15. Beyond 5,000 is 30. Personally present. Proxies are not counted for the purpose of quorum. Section 103. The offer of buyback of its own shares by a company shall not be made within a period of 6 months from the date of closure of preceding offer of buyback, if any, and cooling to make further issue of same kind of including allotment of further shares shall be period of 1 year from the completion of buyback subject to certain exceptions. Examine the validity of this statement by explaining the provision of Companies Act. 6 months and 1 year. Validity. 6 months and 1 year. Oh, macha. Inge parada. Oh. People, chances of landmine only. Pakka people will answer wrong. You know what they have done? Cool off between two buybacks is 1 year. If I buy back equity today, I cannot issue it until next 6 months. They have interchanged the provisions and they have given. They have said cool off is 6 months. You cannot issue buyback until next 1 year. They are asking you, is that provision right? The offer of buyback of his own share shall not be made within a period of 6 months. The date of closure of preceding offer for buyback. This is 1 year. They've interchanged. Oh, people, this is landmine. So Mr. Rachit purchased a new house and after some time he shifted to his new house. He was regularly filing his IT return, but he did not update his address with the IT department. The income tax department sent a show cause notice to Mr. Rachit, whereby the time limit for reply was 15 days. The notice was properly sent by registered post to his address, which was in records of the income tax department. Notice reached old house and present owner of the house refused to accept it. After a certain period, the income tax department took a penal action against Okay. After a certain period, the income tax department took a personal penal action against Mr. Rachit. He requested the department that he should not be charged as he did not receive the said notice. Advice in terms of provision of General Clause Act. People, if you guys remember that Jagdish Singh or Nattu Singh, whether registered post, if at all I have sent, if it is properly addressed, if it is a registered post, if I have an acknowledgement, people, in such case, people, whether you receive the notice or not is none of my relevance. So you changed. I know you are innocent, but can I hold you liable? Yes, you will be liable for an action. The notice will be considered as properly served. Explain the provision of Companies Act relating to the service of documents. Section 20, how and all we can give. Registered post, speed post, courier, person, that one. The promoters of J Limited contributed in the shape of unsecured loan to the company in fulfillment of margin money requirements stipulated by State Industrial Development Corporation Limited for granting loan. In the light of provision of Companies Act and the rules made thereunder, whether the unsecured loan will be regarded as deposit or not. People, any money a company receives, section 21C, if a company receives any money as a stipulation of a financial institution, in our class we would have seen this as a down payment. If someone is telling me, financial institution is telling me, I should bring something, you should bring something. If I receive that money, if I put in that money, it will not be considered as deposit. What will be your answer in case the entire loan obtained from SIDC is repaid? This is a little tricky and this was a challenging. Remember, it will be considered as, it will not be considered as deposit as long as even SIDC's loan is also there. If that loan is repaid, whatever is the loan brought in by the promoters, that money will be considered as deposit. Explain the impact of the two words means and includes. Means people means, includes means people, example, means dead end, includes means stretchable. Companies Act 2013 has described an additional duty on board of directors to include board's report, a director's responsibility statement. What is that? While preparing books of accounts, briefly mention any 4 matters. Lucky. There are in total what, 6 now? While preparing books of accounts, you have maintained proper accounting policies, you have followed proper accounting standards, you have maintained sufficient accounting records, adequate accounting records, adequate records are maintained. You have prepared the books on a going concern basis, and internal financial controls there are there, and you have proper systems to make sure that the everything is in compliance with all the laws. Correct? Mohan and Rakul are college friends. and intend to do trading in musical instruments. They have met Mr. John and Miss Kate, who are non-resident Indian, and they all have decided to form a LLP under the name Style of Mohan John LLP with an initial capital contribution of 1 lakh each. The LLP was incorporated on October 15, 2020. The LLP intends to appoint Mr. John and Miss Kate as designated partners. Possible, they're giving that they both are non-residents. At least one should be a designated partner resident in India who has stayed in India for a period of 120 days during the financial year. In what way are the following terms considered as external aid? Historical setting, use of foreign decisions. This is not the historical setting is nothing but people, your usage of customs and all that. Use of foreign decisions, whenever there are some matters, wherever it is similar, wherever we do not have any Indian decisions, foreign decisions are considered as valid laws. But remember, foreign decisions will never bind the Indian courts in case of conflict. LLP is an alternate corporate business. Give the benefits of LLP, limited liability, unlimited, number of members can be, partners can be taken, perpetual succession, as the case may be. ABC and Associates of firm chartered accountants were reappointed as auditors at the AGM of X Limited, held on 30th 9 2022. However, the board recommended to remove them before expiry of their tenure by passing a resolution by board. Subsequently, I have given the consideration to the board recommendation. ABC Associates were removed at the general meeting by passing a special resolution without approval of central government. Is it valid? Absolutely no, people. First it has to be board resolution and then it has to be CG approval. After CG approval only special resolution. If this is not there, such removal will be considered as invalid. A confusion regarding the meaning of financial year arose among the financial executives and accountant of company. Both were having different arguments regarding the financial. What is the correct meaning? Financial year April to March, Jan to December. What is floating charge? When does it get crystallized? Whenever you take steps to crystallization, whenever there is a repayment delay, any other matter as given in the agreement happens, as the case may be. Discuss the provision of Companies Act regarding the time limit for holding the first AGM of a company. Also state the power of registrar to grant extension for the time first AGM. First AGM, people. Oh, see here, explain with the help of an example also. Ababa. First AGM has to be always conducted within 9 months of closure of financial year. That is always be 31st December. Any year. Let us take 31st December 2025. First AGM will never have extension. Not possible from ROC. Done. Gatto Limited dealing in colored contact lenses is a company incorporated in Singapore. The said company is operating in India through its branch office in Kolkata. The company has approached its legal department to state the relevant provisions of Companies Act 2013 and rules made thereunder relating to preparation and filing of financial statements in case of such a company. They have to prepare financial statements, of course. They need to file it with ROC as well. If you remember, once in a year, they should also disclose what and all are the different places they are present. So, where and all the company is operating, that you have to present it once in a year. So, yes, books of accounts will be applicable to them. You have to get your Indian arm of your foreign company audited. Yes, it is mandatory. Yes or no? That is what the law says, right? Done. Miss Prabha, a classical dancer of Bharatnatyam, wants to go to USA for performance. In this connection, she requires foreign exchange drawal of USD $50,000. Explain, Miss Prabha, the provision of in respect of permission required for drawal of foreign exchange. People, she wants to go and perform. People, she does not want to organize a tour and all. She wants to go and perform. Personal expenses, LRS will come into picture under $2.5 lakh. So valid, allowed, done. That's all. Okay, well, next one is okay. I hope it is getting late for all of us. Okay, I'll try to keep it as fast as possible. ABC Limited is a registered public company having the following. We have already seen the similar natured company. So can a company convert into private company without reducing the members? So you need to add 150 plus 20 to be added as 10. So 160. Do not count them and count them. 180. So 180. Should they reduce the members? No. Can they convert into private company? Yes, possible. Sunday Limited is a listed entity engaged in the business of providing engineering solutions to clients across the country. The company followed consistent growth over 3 years. Rate of declaration of dividend is 15, 20, 25. Unfortunately, due to obsolescence means outdated, of a special part of machinery, company incurred losses in current financial year. Even though during financial year 23-24, the company declared interim dividend of 10% on equity shares, the board of directors of the company approved the financial result for the financial year 23-24 in its meeting held on 5th August 2024 and recommended a final dividend of 15% in its board meeting. The general meeting of the shareholders was convened on 31st August 2024. The shareholders of the company demanded, since the interim dividend itself is 10%, we need at least 10%, 20%. It was also submitted that the rate of declaration of dividend immediately preceding 3 financials was 15, 20, 25. But the company secretary emphasized that final dividend cannot be increased. Advise whether the decision of company secretary is correct. Answer is yes, people. You cannot. Whenever in the current year, if there are losses, the maximum you can declare out of your surplus, you can pay P&L surplus. The maximum you can declare cannot exceed your average of 3 years. So here, how much will it be? 15 plus 25. How much is it? 30, 40 plus 20. 40 plus 20, how much? 60. 60 by 3, how much? 20. The maximum you can declare is 20%. However, I know they are requesting for 20, but remember, it is always a discretion of the directors. You can ask, but the directors are not bound by it. Done. Analyze the below mentioned situation in the light of provisions of FEMA. Mr. Vinod has won a big lottery and wants to remit US $20,000 out of his winnings to his son, who is in Singapore. Not possible. Sham requires US $4,000 for remittance towards hirings of transponders. Again, same thing we already seen today only. Not possible because you need to take Ministry of Information and Broadcasting approval, central government. Explain meaning of crystallization of floating charge, conversion of floating charge into fixed charge, where the lender will have a right over the asset and no longer you can sell it. Define the term books of accounts as per the Companies Act. Books of accounts includes statement of receipts, your assets and statement, cost records, etc. Define the following with reference to the following. Measurement of distance, always horizontal plane on a straight line. Duty to take pro rata. In the act, if it is given 1 is equal to 20 rupees. If it is 10, you need to take 10 into 20. Done. Explain the exceptions to doctrine of indoor management. Knowledge of irregularity, suspicion of fraud, forgery, etc. Pratik Limited, an unlisted company registered in the state of Arunachal Pradesh with 42 shareholders, wants to organize the AGM of the company on 13th August 2024, which happens to be Raksha Bandhan, a day declared as holiday by government of Arunachal Pradesh. Advise whether can they do? Yes, they can do. You cannot conduct a AGM as per section 96 only on your national holiday. Raksha Bandhan is a public holiday. Public holidays, can you conduct AGM? Absolutely fine. Can you conduct a AGM on Sunday? Absolutely fine. Only national holiday, Republic of Independence, Gandhi Jayanti. Only these 3 days you cannot conduct a AGM. Explain the doctrine of contemporanea exposito. Contemporary authority is the best, best person to explain the law. So whoever was a contemporary authority at that time, if they have given a law, that is a law. Assess the eligibility of the following individuals for appointment as auditors in accordance with the regulations outlined in the Companies Act. Chintamani is a practicing chartered accountant and his spouse Chitralekha holds Securities Nagamani Limited. Possible up to 1 lakh. Auditors' relatives can hold up to 1 lakh. No. Section 141 disqualification. But auditor cannot hold. Wife is holding. It's okay. Mani, the real sister of Mr. Priyanshu, a chartered accountant, holds the position of CFO at Parivar. The directors of Parivar are considering the appointment of KMP. No, people, not possible. You cannot appoint this person. Define the term small LLP. Contribution does not exceed 25 lakh. Turnover does not exceed 40 lakh. When can the preamble be used as aid to interpretation? When the law is vague. When the act is vague, you can refer to preamble. Priya, Smita, Shilpa and Shifali were partners in Sharma and Associates. Shilpa resigned from firm effective 7th May. However, neither Sharma and Associates nor Shilpa informed the Registrar of Companies about her resignation. Is Shilpa still liable for any losses incurred with the firm from transactions entered into after 3rd May? Yes, you are liable. Until the third parties are aware of or until the registrar is informed. If anyone can prove that they thought you were a partner, then you will be liable on such contracts. Vishal Limited, an unlisted company, has been directed by CG to prepare periodical financial results and undergo a limited review of these results. The board of directors is objecting, arguing that as an unlisted company, they are not required to prepare periodical financial results. Section 129A. CG at its discretion, it can tell such type of companies to prepare the audited financials at such intervals, get it audited at such intervals, and file it at such intervals. And no, you cannot object it. The objection is invalid. In 2022, CG enacted the Digital Communications Act to regulate and manage digital communications across the country. Digital communication. Something and all they give note. The Act provides specific duties and responsibilities for the Director of Digital Communications, including the oversight of digital infrastructure, enforcement of regulations, and ensuring compliance with the data protection standards. In 2023, the Director of Digital Communication, Mr. Arjun Patel, was appointed to lead the implementation of this Act. However, in Jan, Mr. Patel took a medical leave of absence for 6 months. During his absence, Ms. Priya Sharma, the Deputy Director of Digital Communication, was lawfully assigned to perform the duties of Director. Oh. If any person is appointed in the position of a subordinate, appointed in the position of a chief, subordinate will always have the power of the chief. While Mr. Patel was on leave, major data breach incident occurred involving a significant violation of Digital Communications Act. Ms. Sharma took the immediate action to investigate the breach, enforce penalties, and implement new compliance to prevent incidents. The actions taken by Ms. Sharma while performing the duties of the director led to the legal challenge. The opposing party argued that the only director as specified in the Act had the authority to enforce such penalties and measures, and Ms. Sharma's actions were not valid. Considering the provisions related to official chiefs and subordinates, yes, it will be valid. Whenever a chief is not available, a subordinate will assume the power of the chief. So whatever this person does will be considered as valid. Enumerate the persons who are entitled to receive the notice of general meeting: shareholders, legal representatives, assignees of insolvents, auditors, directors. Enumerate the provision of Companies Act in respect to the following. This is section 101. Enumerate the provision of Companies Act in respect to the following: time limit for filing annual return when AGM is held within 60 days of conduction of AGM. Time limit for filing of annual return when AGM is not held 60 days from the date of due date, that is 30th September. Explain the provision of company read along with companies in respect of audit of accounts of foreign company. We saw today only. Audit of foreign company will be mandatory for your Indian office, and it has to be also maintained, and you should also file it with the ROC required. Explain the meaning of the term of currency. Currency includes everything, no people. It includes bills, credits, traveler's check, traveler cards, anything which is expressed in Indian currency payable in foreign currency, or expressed in foreign currency payable in Indian currency. Everything is included in the term currency. Define the term currency, coins, all this, that entire thing. I think I gave a definition of foreign exchange. Sorry. What I said is foreign exchange. Currencies, yes, all your notes, your bills, everything is considered as currency. Official Gazette includes Official Gazette of India and Official Gazette of the state. Both are possible, no? That's all. I hope you guys are understanding the day. Macha. Don't just sit and watch it like, of course I said sit and relax, but of course use your brain also a little. New Limited is a company in which Old Limited is holding 65% of paid up share capital. One of the shareholders of Old Limited made a charitable trust and donated his 10% share in Old Limited. Section 19. See, this is how you can make, you can guess what will be the important topics. So many times same thing gets repeated. So as a trustee you can hold, no, possible. The government of India is holding 51% of paid up equity capital of Surya Limited. The audited financial statements of Surya Limited for the financial year 23-24 were placed at its AGM held on 1st August 2024. However, pending the comments of the Controller Auditor General of India on the said accounts, the meeting was adjourned. Same thing, people. Whenever you adjourn a meeting, from the date of adjournment, you have to file the financial statements, and the auditor will be, ROC will consider them as provisional. In the company, they wouldn't have filed the provisional within time, they would have filed the actual one within time. So this is a non-compliance, the final one is a compliance. But overall, have they done a non-compliance? Yes. Mr. A, an Indian national, desires to obtain how many times the lottery prohibited, Schedule 1, US $1,000 for sending a cultural troop. You have to take Ministry of Human Resource and Development. What are the powers of registrar to make entries of satisfaction and release of charges in the absence of any intimation? Section 83 of Companies Act. If I get to know that any charge is satisfied, I will issue I will satisfy the charge and will issue the satisfaction of charge. Memorandum of satisfaction of charge will be issued to both the parties and it will be discharged. What is the mode of service of documents to register of members as per provision of Companies Act, section 20? You can give it by post or registered post or that. Explain various provisions applicable to rules or bylaws being made after previous publication as enumerated. How to make rules, bylaws and all. You first come up with a draft, put it in the public domain, wait for comments. If you have any comments, address them, publish it in the official gazette, it will be final. Navani Limited has accumulated a significant amount in its securities premium account. The company is considering different ways to utilize these funds. Advise the directors how can we utilize it. Yesterday only we saw section 52. You can use it for buyback, bonus, buyback, bonus. What else? The buyback, bonus, premium on discount, preliminary expenses. What else? Da? Bonus issue, buyback, preliminary expenses, and a discount, repayment of discount. What else? Da? I missed something. Bonus or buyback. Something main one only I missed. No, da? Buyback, bonus. What is the main other thing? What is the other thing? Da? Fifth one, preliminary expenses. Discount on issue, buyback, bonus, something is there, buyback, bonus. Yeah, okay. No, buyback, bonus. Yo, section 52. Sida macha, in exam, if this happens, what will we do? Da? How can I forget? Da? It is there, some popular one I forgot. No, da? Buyback, bonus, buyback, bonus, bonus, what is it? Bonus, writing of commission paid, premium payable, buyback its own shares. Preliminary expenses we said. Discount, commission paid, that we said. Premium redemption we said. Then what did I not say? We said bonus, we said preliminary expenses, commission paid, expenses, premium payable, buyback. Did I say everything? Okay. But you understood, no? Done. KMN Limited scheduled its AGM meeting to be held on 11th March 2024 at 11 am. Company has 900 members. If 900 members are there, what is a quorum? 5 or anything prescribed in AOA, whichever is higher, as per section 103. On 11th March 2024, following persons were present by 11:30. 11:30. You have to wait for the quorum up to 30 minutes. P1, P2, P3 shareholders counted in quorum. P4 representing A Limited counted. P5 representing DF Limited. Any representative representing a body corporate, you have to count in the purpose of quorum. So 3, 4, 5. So sir, the quorum is present. I need not even see the next one. P6, P7 are proxy not counted. Examine relevant whether quorum was present. Yes, present 5. What will be your answer if P4 representing ABC Limited reached the meeting 11:30? So 30 minutes we will wait. If he is reaching at 11:30, so they are telling after 11:30. So people, of course, within 30 minutes quorum will not be present. So yes, the meeting will get automatically adjourned to next week. In case lack of quorum, discuss the provision applicable for adjourned meeting in terms of date, time and place. It will be same time next week, same place, same time. What happens if there is no quorum in the adjourned meeting? Whoever are the members present will be considered as quorum. Right, showed not on explanation. Okay. The board of directors of Avani Limited requested its statutory auditors to accept the assignment of designing and implementation. Statutory auditors to accept the assignment of designing and implementation of suitable financial information system. Not possible. Section 144. The auditors of a company cannot take up certain activities, so not allowed. Define the term body corporate. It includes foreign company as per Companies Act 2013, LLP, foreign LLP, but does not include sole corporation and cooperative society. Differentiate between mandatory provision from a directory provision. Shallu may provision. Measures Sulba LLP was incorporated on 1st September. On 1st Jan 2023, one partner of partnership named Ms. Sulba, which is registered with Indian Partnership Act. We have seen the I think change of name. Partnership is not valid. CA Mudit is partner in SM company and ML and company. He's partner in both. Okay. SM and company are statutory auditors of Liberal Limited for past 10 years as on 31st March 2027. Advice under relevant provision of Companies Act whether ML and company be appointed as statutory auditors of Liberal Limited during the cooling off period. Common auditor, not possible, no. No, not possible. Cool off period of 5 years is there, no. So not possible. A Limited declares dividend for its shareholders in its AGM held on 27 September, referring to the provision of Act. Advise the dates during which A Limited is required to pay the dividend. 30 days, people. Don't count 27th. You count it from 28th. 28th September, 29th September, 30. And add 27 days. So 27th October. 27th October will be my last day to make the payment. What the children? The board of directors of ABC Limited called the EGM meeting upon the requisition 124, if you remember the timeline of payment. The meeting was adjourned on the ground that the quorum was not present at the meeting. In light of the provision of company that board what is that? Called an EGM meeting upon the requisition of members. However, the meeting was adjourned on the ground that quorum was not present. People, section 100, requisition, shareholders ask for a meeting, and in that meeting, if quorum is not present, there is no provision of adjournment. The meeting straight away stands cancelled. Zorab Garments Limited served a notice of general meeting upon its members. The notice stated that resolution to increase the share capital of the company would be considered at such meeting. Roshni, a shareholder of the company, complained that the amount of the proposed increase was not specified. Is this notice valid? Of course, no. Section 102. Any special business requires an explanatory statement. If they have not mentioned, it is not valid. Shaltom Limited, an international corporation headquartered outside Japan, is interested in expanding its investor base and thus is planning to issue a prospectus for the subscription of its potential investors in India. However, the company has not yet established a physical place of business within India. Remember, people, if you are established outside India, whether or not you have a physical place of business in India or not, you are free to issue prospectus, allowed. As a consultant for you have been asked to provide guidance on legal procedure and compliance requirements must follow. Yes, sir, it is possible. Whether or not you have a place of business in India, it is possible. Explain the meaning of foreign exchange. At that time, I've already said no, that is foreign exchange. Traveler's check and all that. Done. I know. It is getting late for you all. 1 second, we'll be done. We'll just do this one and we'll conclude. Nath Private Limited. People, tomorrow I'll be solving. I will take probably 10 proper questions and I'll be solving the 10 proper questions along with you. Meaning I'll take the 10 questions. I'll also write the 10 questions. We will see whether if we write this way, is it acceptable or not. So we will master the art of writing and presentation in the exam. So that will be the agenda for tomorrow. I think for tomorrow we will be concluding our the mission 80. And I want you to tell me how did it go. And if you want, let me know for that tomorrow, what time and all. I'll tell you the top 10 questions. I'll take a good questions and we'll see what best can be done. Yes? Okay. Nath Private Limited is a startup company. Mr. P has been appointed as account manager of Nath Private Limited. The board meeting for approval of accounts is to be held on 1st August 2024. For this, he has to prepare financial statements for approval by the board. Referring to section, advise Mr. P about the statements that are required to be prepared. Financial statements, what all people? P&L, balance sheet, statements of equity, explanatory note, CFS, cash flow statement, etc. Oh, is a startup? CFS is not required. Sorry. Ramchandra is a partner and in charge of A and Associates. The firm is appointed as an audit firm of Badri Limited. Mr. Ramchandra retires from A Associates and after some time joins Gupta and Gupta firm as a partner on 20 May. In the general meeting of Badri held on 15th June, the company appointed Gupta firm as an ex-auditor. Common auditor cannot be appointed. On the date of appointment of the audit firm, if there is a common auditor, you cannot appoint such auditor. No, possible, not possible. Referring to the provision of FEMA, state the kind of approval required for payment of commission of US $20,000 on export made towards equity investment, wholly owned subsidiary. Equity investment, RBI approval. It is actually coming under prohibited transaction. So approval required. Actually, no, this is RPA. It is Prohibited transaction. It comes under current account transaction, no? In our class, we would have seen the example of Rocky Bhai. It is a prohibited transaction, so no, not possible. Samai Publishing Limited, facing acute cash crunch, wants to utilize a portion of deposit, wants to pay off its short-term creditors. Of course, not possible. The DRR and all cannot be used for any other purpose other than its repayment. Mr. Kaushal is a chartered accountant and an MBA by profession, has been appointed as an executive director on the board of XYZ Limited. His job profile includes advising the board of directors of the company on various compliance matters, strategies, business plans, and risk matters relating to the company. Keeping in view of the above position, whether Mr. Kaushal can be classified as a promoter. Who is a promoter? The person who is named as a promoter in prospectus, annual return, the person who on whose directions the company is accustomed to act. People, but that is control. This is professional capacity. So can he be considered as promoter? Section 2, clause 69. No, he cannot be considered as promoter. Not possible. Ayyo, edit of something da. Manitchidinge. What is the reference? Person and document. Okay, Nana. Trinity School started imparting education on 1st April 2010 with the sole objective of providing education to children of weaker society, either free of cost or at a very normal fees. However, on 30th March 2024, it came to the knowledge of the central government that the said school was operating by violating objects of granted in the state of Section 8 company. Describe what powers can be exercised by central government. One, it can revoke the license and convert it into a private limited or limited as the case may be. Next one, they can order for winding up. Third one, people, they can order for amalgamating it with any other Section 8 company with similar objects. Section 8 company. A general meeting of ABC Private Enterprise was scheduled to be held on 15th April 2024 at 3 p.m. As per the notice, the members who will be unable to attend the meeting in person can appoint a proxy, and the proxy forms duly filled should be sent to the company so that the company can receive it within time. Mr. X, a member of the company, appoints Mr. Y as his proxy, and the proxy form dated 10th April 2024. When is the meeting? The 15th. Proxy form has to be submitted 48 hours prior. So 14th or 13th you have to submit. So it is valid. With the company at its registered office on 11th April 2024. Similarly, another member, Mr. W, also gives two separate proxy to two individual names, M and N. M, the proxy dated 12th April, was deposited with the company on the same day, and the proxy form in the favor of Mr. N deposited 14th. 14th not possible, of course. That's the answer. Those two are valid, N is invalid. Done. Write short notes on the following: ambiguous definition, definition subject to contrary contraction. I'm not getting into these definitions, all the indirect ones only I'm looking at. State the persons responsible for complying provisions of maintaining of books of accounts. Managing director, whole-time director in charge of finance, CFO, such other person authorized by the board. Such other person authorized by the board. LLP 2540. What are the difference between interpretation and construction? Interpretation is trying to give a literal meaning. Construction is going beyond and understanding the scenario. Kedar Limited, an unlisted company registered in state of Haryana with 100 shareholders, wants to organize AGM of the company for the financial year. With 100 shareholders, the meeting shall be held on 28th September, which happens to be Rakshanda, a declared holiday by Haryana. Public holiday. Can you do it? Yes, you can do. Venue for the meeting shall be Lonavala, a hill resort in Maharashtra. Out of 100 shareholders, 98 have given their consent. Abba Baba Macha, they have tried to convince you, they have tried to confuse you between section 96 and 101 shorter notice. Shorter notice is possible if 95% of the members in number agree. 96 is all the members have to agree. For unlisted company to conduct its AGM in any other place. So 98 has agreed. Can I conduct in any other place? No, not possible. But a good question. Form Limited is engaged in the business of manufacturing shoes for kids. It is required to hold its AGM for the financial year ending 31st March 2024 by 30th September 2024. However, due to internal disputes among the directors, the company was unable to conduct the AGM. Explain the relevant provision with respect to filing of financial same provision. It will be considered as provisional. Registrar will take it as provisional until you find the permanent one. ABC Limited operates a factory situated near a river. As per recent Central Act, factories must be located at least 5 kilometers away from any river. A dispute arises when an environmental agency claims that ABC Limited's factory is only 4.5 kilometers away from the river, while ABC Limited contends that the distance of 5.3 kilometers as per the road distance measured along with the winding path. We have seen today only. The distance has to be always horizontal plane and straight line. You cannot take my road route is like this and hence it is 5.3 kilometers. The contention is invalid. Mr. H acquired a property from PQR Limited which was mortgaged to ABC Bank. He settled the dues to ABC Bank in full and the same was registered with sub-registrar who noted that the mortgage had been settled, but neither the company nor ABC Bank filed particulars of satisfaction of charge with the registrar. Same thing people, if registrar gets to know, he can only issue the memorandum of satisfaction of charge for both the parties. 83, correct? Possible. Mr. Prakash purchased a commercial property in Mumbai belonging to PQR after entering into an agreement with the company. At the time of registration, Mr. Prakash came to know that the title deed of the company was not free from the company's expressed its inability to get the title deed transferred in Prakash's name, contending that he ought to have the knowledge of charge created. Oh, they have asked two charge questions. People, section 80. Once a charge is registered, once a charge is registered as per section 77, it is considered as a public domain document. So you are deemed to have the constructive notice. So you cannot say that the company did not advise me or inform me. XYZ Limited, a company incorporated outside India and to which provision of Chapter 22 of the Companies Act are applicable, entered into a contract with ABC Limited, an Indian company, for the supply of machinery. After the machinery was delivered, ABC Limited failed to make the payment citing defects in the machinery. I would have said that they asked this question. It's so important. I don't know why they have not asked it at all. XYZ Limited discovered that it had failed to comply with certain provisions of Chapter 22 of the Companies Act relating to the registration of foreign companies in India. Despite this, XYZ Limited intends to file a suit against ABC Limited. Can they file a not possible? If a company has not filed all the documents until they file, they do not have a right to file a suit. Discuss whether XYZ Limited can initiate legal proceedings. No. Give your answer as with the provision of companies that along with the company's registration or not. So first you do it, people, then yes, you can. But remember, just because you cannot file a suit, that doesn't mean whatever contract you have entered, that is considered as invalid. We are not saying that. It is still valid only. But you cannot or you do not have a right to file a suit. Explain the meaning of following terms. Authorized person, nothing but authorized dealer, money changer, or offshore banking unit. Currency is the same thing. Done, people. I think it's late. It's a lot of things that we tried to do. I hope this is good. And yes, I mean, I hope you guys were able to understand something and you guys got benefited out of it. As long as the answer is yes, do let me know. I'll be the most happiest person on it. And do let me know your results once you guys get. I'll be the most happiest person. As I told you, tomorrow we'll be having a writing practice where most of you will go wrong. What is important? What is not important? Let us learn from our mistakes and let us try to learn where we can improvise. So thank you so much, people. See you all. Bye bye.